The experts that best communicate their culture and their vision to their potential clients are those entrepreneurs that we remember. I'm Shelby Jo Long with the Expertise Podcast, and here we explore the stories of those entrepreneurs to inspire you to think about how you can monetize your expertise. Hi, welcome to the episode today in Culture, Communication, and Vision for Your Brand. My name is Shelby Jo Long, and I'm here today with Norma Hollis of Authentecize. And I'm excited to introduce her to the Strategic Advisor Board podcast community and the Business Dynamics podcast community. She's got a great message. She's got a great brand and business, and I'm excited to hear more about her story. So Norma, welcome to the podcast today. Thanks for coming on.
Well, Shelby Jo Long, thank you for having me. I appreciate it. It's good to be here.
Yes, I'm very excited. We've had a few conversations, but I'm excited to know more about your business. So why don't you give us a quick introduction of what your business is and who you serve, and just give me the broad overview.
Well, my business is all about it's about self-awareness. I help people understand themselves in new and deeper ways. And I'm particularly interested in people who kind of know they have a purpose, but haven't quite put their fingers on what it is, or they're confused. And I have a whole organization around helping you get unconfused and put people on their right path to what it is you're supposed to be doing on the planet. So that's what my business is about. And we do it in multiple ways.
In multiple ways. So that it sounds like we all need some more clarity in our lives, and we all need some more direction in our lives. Do you help people in their career searches, or do you help people within their business or within their home life? Is there a context in where you help with mindset and help with focus?
Well, we really talk about helping people become more authentic, becoming more true to their true nature. We all go through life trying to fulfill what society says we're supposed to be and what we're supposed to do. And that gives us confusion and takes us off our path. You know, planet Earth is a very dense planet, and it's kind of hard sometimes for energy to pass. Life is energy, so we have that perspective. So what we do in our programs, whether you're coaching with me or whether you're taking one of our group training programs, one of my people that I have taught, we're helping you to remove some blocks maybe you don't even know that you have. We help you clear up your energy, your space, and get more clarity on why you're here and what it is you are here to do. And then we help give you the tools to do that. And we work in a community of people who feel very similarly about being authentic and are very passionate about doing their contribution to the planet in terms of why they're here. So that's the bigger picture of what we do.
The bigger picture. So, and it's so incredibly important. It's not similar to the work that I do, but it's very connected to the work that I do, because the work in the story that you tell in your brand and the story that you tell in the customer transformation, as they start engaging with you, and whether it's in a coaching or consulting manner, there's got to be some transformative movement, and having clients understand that. But it's hard to connect with them without being authentic, because there's so much noise out there. And I think I feel that that's a fundamental piece that you need in your business, is to be authentically connected to what it is you're promoting and what it is you're providing people. But then also that's a core to your message. So I think you
need it not only in business, but in your personal life, because research shows that people who have more self-awareness do better, whether you're a leader or whether you're a student or whatever. And nowhere in our society do we really teach self-awareness. People most of us learn it through the bullies we go to school with. And that's very wrong information. Or from our parents who only have one perspective of us and don't have the big perspective. Then we got in the big world and we don't know what to do because we're confused. And then we all go through that. So we all go through, hopefully, some time in our life where we have to transition and consider, is the information that we're receiving, are we just taking it because it's given to us, it's spoon-fed to us, or are we really thinking about it and making informed decisions about our life? So many of it just doing. But then when people wake up to who they really are, their relationships get better because they're more confident of who they are and who they're not, and they accept themselves more. They're better entrepreneurs. because they're willing to say, I really can't do this. I need team members that can do that. They're better leaders in corporate because they recognize their vulnerability and they recognize their gaps, and then they lead and train by that. So no matter what part of life you're looking at, and it's also spiritual too, because it helps you to understand deeper your connection to source and how you can live that out. So, it's not that the product's for everybody. That's a terrible thing to say about a product. But what I have done is I have trained people who can then talk to others. So I've trained corporate leaders. I have trained coaches who coach in corporate environments. I have trained women who've been abused and have gone through trauma, and they help people in that area. I've trained people who can take it into the schools and work with youth. So authenticity and self-awareness impacts every age and every part of society. So my role and what I've done is I've created a business that allows me to train the trainers. I've trained trainers now that will train others. And then I have multiple programs, from a weekly program, which is very inexpensive, that allows you to come once a week and just get a little dose of authenticity for yourself, or a very expensive program where I can teach you, one-on-one or in a small group about how you can understand this more and do it yourself. So depending on where you are in that spectrum, whether you're passionate about making a difference in the world and being a change agent and you're not quite sure what to do, or you're not quite sure what you should be doing with your life, but you've got something knocking inside saying you're not doing it, got to go do it. You're like, well, do what? Or whether you just want to be in a community of people who are like-minded people. So that's my business. Yeah.
You influence the influencers.
I like that.
Such an empowering place to be. That's a great place to be. Well, yeah. Norma, that's awesome. Tell me a little bit about your background and how you got into this business. I know you're a multiple published author. You've done some other things before this business all emerged. So can you tell us kind of the brand story that you have for your background?
Sure. Well, I have 3 careers. My first career and my education was in early childhood. So my degree is in family and child life sciences. When it was first starting, I was in the first wave of those early childhood people. So then I directed preschool programs for my first career. I started out, my big goal in life, little did I know, when I came out of college, was to direct a preschool program. And my first job was directing a preschool program. Okay, I didn't know much about what was available. But anyway, I ended up directing Head Start programs, which is federally funded, granted programs for low-income families for the children to get for preschoolers to get a head start on life. And I had the big programs with 1,500 or more children in multiple cities, and I did them in Michigan and California. And I also design. What I really do is I write programs for human development. So they wrote so by that early childhood background, I wrote an early intervention program for preschoolers that I did in 2 states while I was in the Midwest. And then I moved to California, and when I left Head Start, I began speaking. I started a speakers bureau. I was the first Black woman to own a speaker bureau for Black speakers. And that did a couple of things for me. It helped me to see what happens to happy-go-lucky preschool children who were delighted to be at school and around people, to very confused adults who came to me in the bureau saying, I've worked 10 or 20 years wherever, and I've lost myself. And I want to teach what I've learned. I want to find myself first, and then I want to teach what I've learned. So with my authenticity focus, that was important. And then I helped a lot of people develop their speaking skills and get speaking engagements. Now, all the time I was doing that, I was kind of being downloaded what I call my authenticity grid, and which leads me to my 3rd career, which is what I'm in now. And I write programs for human development. I wrote a program for speakers to help them get rapid success. And now I've written an authenticity program that I call now, the business is called Authentecize, because through the authenticity program, you get to know yourself in 9 energies of authenticity. And that's what I teach from. That's what I found. That was what I received from some unknown download, but it works, and it has some interesting magical power. So now we're in the process of, I have several corporate potentials now. I have one of the books I wrote it talks about authentic leadership. It uses my authenticity grid to talk about how to do authentic leadership in corporations. And now we're working towards making that happen with some staff, people that I've trained now to do that. We're also getting to put it in the schools. I also teach through games. So I have authenticity games, and I have some that I've taught to give to youth, which we're working on doing that. And then we're also helping people become change agents. So I'm helping speakers take their message as change agents, and I'm helping coaches learn my system so they can coach and be change agents themselves. Because my bigger piece from the spiritual side is how much the planet needs changing. And I believe if the people lead, the leaders will follow. So I'm looking for the people that want to lead, so the leaders will follow. So that's my story.
That's quite a story. So many different areas of involvement. I have a communication background too, speaking background too. So that's so wonderful that you're involved in that community and empowering other people to be involved with that too, because so much self-awareness happens through that.
Yes, yes.
It really is. It's a true
yeah.
Discovering your charisma is something that's a really core piece of your personality. So I love that. That's awesome.
Yes. Thank you.
And you're helping other people make that transition too. Well, that's great to hear that story. You have so many things going on. I'm so excited to hear what's next for you. Can you tell our audience what is next for you in your career?
Well, next is kind of unfolding. I'm really excited because I'm at the point now that I have pretty much done what I needed to do to create my authenticity grid, to train some people, and to begin to get out there in the world. So now, and I also have, I have two of them been with me for 10 plus years, 110 and 120. So 110 on the program side and 120 on the business development side. So I'm letting her develop the business, and I'm letting some others develop the program. And I'm now stepping up to my higher vibrational self and doing some spiritual things that I need to do all around the planet, and bringing the planet in more into its transition into the higher vibration we're moving into. We're at a time in the planetary life that we're moving from 3D to 5D. I don't know if you know much about 3D and 5D, but on the planet, we're a 3D, 4D planet, which means that if you can't see it and touch it, it doesn't exist in many people's minds. And those of us that are a little more enlightened understand that there's, I call unseen supporters all around us that are supporting and deriving and available to us for our own development. So my job is, I'm learning my next assignment, and it's to help people understand that more and help them not be so fearful and step into their authenticity so that they can be the person that they were here to be, and particularly the children. Because the children now are coming in, they started in the 80s coming in far more aware. They're being prepared before birth. They're being born with new DNA, if you will, that gives them those superpowers and skills to do some things. And so I want to help them to make that happen. So that's what I'm moving to. That
is awesome to hear. Empowering the next generation, empowering influencers. So many amazing things come out of Authentecize.
Yes.
Norma, where can our listeners find you? And we'll be sure to include all the links and stuff in the description, but it'd be good to know where we can find you and find everything about your programs.
Well, the best way to go is to LinkedIn. I'm on LinkedIn. I think it's Norma T. Hollis on LinkedIn. And you can also go to giftsfromnorma.com. And I do offer opportunity to have to join one of my group sessions coming up June 21st. So you're welcome to do. And if you happen to miss June 21st, then just give me a LinkedIn message and I'll get you on the next one. So awesome. Yeah.
That's good to know. Well, we'll make sure all those links are in the description so people can find you. And I just really enjoyed this conversation today. I'm glad to learn a little bit more about your multiple arms of business, and to see how that all works together is going to be really fun in the next couple of months. So I'm excited about it. Thanks so much, Shelby, for having me and chance to share. Any other final thoughts you have to entrepreneurs, business owners, corporate America? out there?
The one thing I learned about being an entrepreneur is that so many of us are entrepreneurs because that's the way we can live our passion and be our authentic self. So I know as an entrepreneur, they say it's feast or famine, and seems to be what the truth is. So helping you find your feast, but the more authentic you become, the more self-aware you become, and the more you accept who you are and what your assignment is, the more you will have of the feast. So just keep feasting.
I love that.
Following your inner voice and your spirit and what it is, what drove you to do what you do. Don't lose sight of what drove you to do what you do, especially if it's to make a difference in the world.
That's great. Norma Hollis, influencing the influencers. I love that. Well, it was great to chat with you today. And to you listeners out there from the Strategic Advisor Board podcast or the Business Dynamics podcast, I look forward to next time when we talk to an entrepreneur that has developed a business out of their passion and the transformation that they can create in their clients. I look forward to next time. And Norma, I thank you again.
Thank you.
And we'll talk to you soon.
I look forward to it.
Okay. We hope you've enjoyed this episode of the Expertise Podcast and hope you're inspired to think about how to further monetize the expertise and the processes that you have in your own business. See you next time.